Hello and welcome to a pretentious display of cynicism. I'm Foster and here with Matt,
Hey,
and we're here to review some albums this week. Took a break for a couple of weeks, but we're back.
mm,
Had exams to get to.
yeah, that's not very fun, but we're
Yeah.
back and rolling with things again. So,
Mm. Yeah, just a heads up, we're changing the show format a little bit so we can avoid copyright infringement. Basically, we're gonna move the mixes to Mixcloud and just kind of have them there so you can play it
mm,
at your leisure.
yeah, in the end, it just makes it a lot easier to listen to anyway. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Should be a lot better that way because you don't have to download so much.
Hmm.
We
Just
might be able to integrate it into the site properly as well, which would be awesome.
yeah, I'll have to see if you can do that. That'd
Yeah,
be real
just kind
nice.
of overhaul everything properly. Gotta get my web coding stuff going again.
Yeah.
Mm,
Try and get the website sorted a bit better.
mm. Oh, it's alright at the moment. Just making it look awesome would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we get on to our first review?
Yeah, two reviews this week. We'll start off with Cheating the Polygraph by Gavin Harrison. So this is do you want to introduce it because you picked it this week?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think how many albums Gavin's done. It's over 50, so I don't know. This is probably his no one, two, three, four, fifth-ish kind of solo album. I guess it's probably like his second proper solo one, I guess. Um, but yeah, the main theme for the whole album is just kind of reimagining a lot of the Porcupine Tree songs, but with a kind of crazy jazz progressive vibe to everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's not just covering the songs, it's more just using that as a way to kind of theme the album, but when it comes to structure or the way they've used the melodies of any particular riffs or anything, it's just everything's thrown out the window. This is not your average cover album.
Yeah, I kind of approached this album um, from like away from the Porcupine Tree perspective.
Mm,
Like I'm not familiar very much with the original songs, like
mm,
maybe vaguely familiar, but
yeah.
it's it's really completely new, as you said.
Like I wouldn't say it would make any difference at all whether you had listened to Porcupine Tree's original stuff or not,
Yeah,
because this stuff is just completely in another direction. Um, I don't know. Some of the hardcore Porcupine Tree fans seem to be a bit, I don't know, divided over whether they like this or not. There's
right.
ones who haven't gotten to jazz too much, and then you've got other ones who are like, "This is the most amazing thing ever."
Yeah, it's a route. That's a strange direction to go in, really. This big band, swing, experimental jazz
It's
feel.
awesome though, but
Yeah,
it's definitely going away from where Porcupine Tree was going with a lot of their stuff, which is, I guess, maybe to a little more of like a progressive metal kind of style, or
right.
I don't know, still kind of sticking within that rock pop big structure with a lot of progressive stuff in there, but
Yeah. Sorry,
not really too much stuff unusual.
your mic's really quiet. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I would say it's a very big leap in a completely different direction. So yeah, I'd say being a Porcupine Tree listener would make this harder to get into, perhaps,
Yeah, I would
unless you had
suspect.
that background in jazz or just, I don't know. Even like How accessible would you say the album is
Um,
compared to other jazz stuff out there like this? I don't know.
um, geez, I don't know much jazz stuff
Mm,
like this because it's a weird blend,
it is.
but I think it's fairly accessible.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not that crazy.
Mm,
It's just it's a little bit odd, but
mm,
yeah, fairly easy to follow, easy to
yeah.
listen to.
That's one thing I like about the album. Like, as weird as it is in sections, it's fairly cohesive.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. Gavin and the main guy who helped him out with this was is their bassist for this,
yeah.
whose name I can't remember at the moment. Um, but yeah, they just work to try to reinterpret the stuff as weirdly as possible, essentially. And yeah, they've done a pretty good job at that.
Mhm.
Okay, so most of the work, I guess, arrangement wise, was done on the album between Gavin and the bass player, Lawrence Cottle, who kind of worked together to get, I guess, like one of the first demo songs for this album, which spawned the idea from it.
Mhm.
And yeah, from there they just brought in the rest of the musicians on this album to get that kind of big band song
Yeah.
um, sound to it. Yeah. So I don't know. Anything stand out in particular track wise for you?
Track wise, it was all pretty consistent. I don't want to say like, um, what's the word, homogenous or anything, but it was definitely the the tracks didn't really stand out in particular.
Because they're
Uh,
all really good, or
they're all really good. They all have a lot of variety.
yeah,
There's lots of there's a couple tracks that take like themes from two songs, like
yeah,
The Sound of Music slash So-Called Friend,
yeah,
Hate Song Halo,
mm,
and another one,
yeah,
Cheating the Polygraph slash
yeah.
Mother and Child Divided.
I think that kind of makes the whole cover theme interesting too, because it gives them a bit more to work with.
Yeah.
Mm,
I think probably the second track
mm,
is where it kind of kicks off for me. The first
yeah,
track was it sets the tone really. It's kind of
yeah,
dramatic and
mm,
um, tense.
yeah.
But the
No, I
second
don't
one,
mind that because it kind of like lures you in, and then stuff really gets kind of weird.
yeah. But yeah, the second track just has a nice balance between kind of swing sections with
Yeah,
cool walking bass lines and then a kind of change of pace near the end
yeah,
with
and
some like xylophone or glockenspiel.
yeah, that's one thing I like in this album that just kind of comes in halfway through the second track, and I don't know, there's like a mix of those xylophony type instruments, and they kind of work them in with some flutes and other woodwinds and stuff.
Yeah, the flutes are really good.
Yeah, and yeah, I guess that's what you can mean with the not so much like similar, but not really homogenous in that
Hmm.
it's all really of like impeccable quality, and then you'll have these like I guess with a big band swing kind of style, crazy drumming and brass stuff,
Yeah,
and then you'll have like these little sections of I guess other sounds and textures in there, which kind of it just prevents all of it from becoming stale. Like
yeah,
I don't know, it's something I can sit down and listen through, and I don't know, I don't really get tired too much at a particular section.
yeah. That's actually kind of one of the things that kind of brings the album down a tiny bit for me
Okay,
is that occasionally I'll get tired listening
okay,
to the tracks that are really brass heavy,
okay.
just kind of,
Mm,
staccato trumpets or whatever
I don't
just
mind that
blasting
stuff.
at you.
Yeah,
But no, it's a decent balance. It's not totally overdone.
yeah. And there are some fairly big points in the album where they tone things down a bit,
Yeah,
just to give you a chance to breathe. Like, I don't know, I guess the third track, there's that bass
yeah.
groove at the start, and
I like that part a lot.
yeah. Then, yeah, there are some tracks where they do a bit of weirder stuff as well.
Hmm. Uh,
Was it, I think the fourth track with the weird kind of xylophone woodwind kind of intro thing. Um,
yeah. It's kind of, yeah, softer.
yeah, and then sixth track, yeah, hate song Halo. That one I kind of liked as well.
Yeah. I love it has this really playful call and response thing going
Yeah.
on halfway through.
Mm.
They just kind of, I don't know, they have these ridiculous lines.
Yeah, there's just riffs dancing between instruments.
Mm.
What did you think of track five, Pills I'm Taking,
Um,
slash
I liked
Anesthetize?
it had a really, it kept the prog feel, I
Yeah,
think, really good. It was very groovy and fast paced.
yeah, because that essentially is a cover of Anesthetize Part 2,
Yeah,
the Porcupine Tree stuff, which is essentially, I guess, Gavin's most prog-heavy drum song he's done with them.
yeah,
So I was interested to hear how that would come out here, and I don't know. It's like he resists the temptation to go mental throughout the whole way on that. It's only
yeah.
like about 30 seconds towards the end where it's like, holy crap, what is
uh,
happening
I
between the
love that.
drums and all the instruments?
Yeah.
But it's still like an awesome build up to that.
Mm.
Mm,
No, he's really restrained on this album. I feel like it's a good thing. Maybe
yeah,
I don't understand his style like completely, but it's not so bombastic in the drumming.
yeah. Like he does all these kind of like minute technical things, which just kind of, I don't know, keep the rhythm going, and it just like brings out all the other instrumental stuff that is going on around what he's doing.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. You could kind of think coming into it, oh, this is an album by a drummer. It's going to be an album of crazy drumming stuff.
Yeah, that's
Well,
it might have been what I expected.
well, he just completely avoids that. Like,
Mm.
I don't know. If anything, you could just look at it as an awesome jazz album, I
Yeah.
guess. Um,
Oh, just another point on the drumming.
yeah,
It, it's so signature of his
yeah,
style,
mm,
and I just have to give credit to those really twangy
mm,
uh, toms in the
yeah,
mix. It's just so prominent and
yeah.
nice.
Like you'll miss them sometimes if you're not listening, and
Mm.
then other times they'll just be like these millisecond long like fills and stuff, which would just kind of blow your mind for a second in between everything else amazing that is going on. And
Mm.
but it's just kind of so controlled, and it's just, I don't know, it's done so well, and I think that's just from his years of experience
Yeah,
drumming on so many other albums. I don't know.
definitely.
That he just kind of knows when to, I don't know, have a little moment of show off in between something else amazing going on, and then just kind of hold everything else together at the same time.
Mm.
I don't know, and even when he's not doing anything too, I guess, crazy or pretentious, like he's still holding together some amazing grooves, and I don't know, there are moments of like kind of weird time signature grooves going on and stuff.
Yeah, he has a very signature, particular style of rhythm or
Mm,
sense of rhythm, and yeah, it is a Gavin Harrison
mm.
album.
But like, I don't know, his style, it's not too inaccessible. Like one thing he tries to do, even with the crazy time signatures he gets into when he does those. Like,
Mhm.
I think I was mentioning his overriding technique. He calls it at some point ages ago to you, but
Okay.
he'll be drumming like some ridiculous odd time signature, but over the top, he'll try to lay, say, at every fourth beat, some sort of a beat or a rhythm or just something, but it'll just kind of give it a straightforward sound. And
Right.
so that way, if you're not into that kind of jazzy, crazy, weird, odd signature grooves, like you can just listen to it casually and I don't know, it's digestible.
Yeah, so that's like along the same lines as a Meshuggah style hi-hat on top of ridiculous groove, but
Yeah.
not quite.
I don't know. Did you notice at the end the kind of throwback to the first track?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like the album loops back onto
Yeah, it
itself,
was
which I found is
good.
interesting.
It's a nice, a pretty outro.
Mm. I don't know. I just got to the end and I'm like, damn, I have to listen to this again now. I
uh,
could maybe leave it on loop. I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't
It's
know.
not like a relaxing album where I could just leave it in the background at all,
No,
but yeah.
it's really tense and like exciting. It's got like a Mission Impossible
Mm.
feel to
It's
it.
just like so happy and playful.
Mm,
Mm.
playful is a really good
Yeah,
descriptor.
playfully technical. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Uh,
Anything negative about it you find though?
um, yeah, the only thing was basically getting tired, and I thought it was a
Yeah,
little brass heavy, but that's just me on kind of big band stuff.
yeah.
It's kind of tiring to me sometimes,
I don't
but
mind
there
it
was a
too
good
much,
balance.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I guess maybe there's like one or two sections where maybe goes for a minute longer than it needed to, but I don't know. That's just up to your own taste, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely, it's not something objectively wrong with the album.
Mm.
Anything for you?
Um, I don't know. I was just like so pleasantly surprised by this whole album. Like, it's pretty much completely different to anything Gavin's released himself before.
Hmm.
You can't compare it at all to anything by Porcupine Tree. Um, yeah, it's just an amazing little gem of an album in itself.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I don't know. I would just recommend it to anyone, really.
yeah, me
Um,
too. If you're kind of open-minded about your music,
mm,
want
and
something a little different but not too inaccessible.
yeah, but I don't know. It just feels fresh and exciting. So
Yeah.
for anyone who's just kind of sick of what's been coming out lately, I just recommend them this, I guess.
Yeah. Oh,
Be that with progressive metal music, whatever, or even jazz lately. Like it's just awesome.
yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
That's good. Uh, one more thing,
Mm,
just before we maybe move on or whatever,
yeah,
is just a little thing. It's the panning in this album. I thought
Annie.
like it was really well produced, and the
Yeah,
sounds were like really, just really good production on the whole
yeah.
thing. I have
That's
to
one thing I
applaud
can
that.
make a note of too. It's just a perfectly mixed album.
Mm,
Like, I don't know, if you're going to hold up any album, I guess, as one with like immaculate mixing, you could play it through any system and it would be amazing. It would probably be this. Like, this is designed so you can listen to it in surround sound,
mm.
which is one thing I did with this, and it
Oh
is
wow!
amazing. So, like, especially like the brass stuff. Maybe that's why I like enjoyed it a bit more.
Right, yeah, what a treat.
Just like the panning between speakers on different sides of the room, especially which track was that on? thinking. Track 5. Yeah, on Anesthetize. The kind of pulsing. Do you remember that? With the
Uh,
brass?
I'm not sure. I think yeah, yeah. The
And it kind of
really
like swung side to side. It was like a little bit in your face. Through a surround sound system, that is insane. And
ah
then it's all this other stuff going on around you at once. Like, I was listening to some of the interviews someone got with Gavin about the album and how he wanted to, I guess, design the mixing for it.
uh-huh.
He said he wanted to set it up so you could listen to it as if you were the drummer surrounded by the big band.
Ah,
And I think he's pretty much captured that.
that's
It's,
very cool.
mm. So you'll have like lots of different instruments in front of you, the brass on either side, and then like all these other little tiny subtle things going on behind you and stuff. Um, just like on the end of track 6, yeah,
Hmm.
8 song, where they had the kind of xylophony flute stuff, maybe a bit of cello-y, I don't know, double bassy, whatever in the background there, kind of
Hmm.
grooving away. I don't know. It was just kind of very sublimely done around the room. You
Right.
know, like if you want an album to seriously test out your speakers, I'd yeah, grab this.
That's really cool.
It sounds pretty good in headphones as well.
Yeah, it does.
I would say you're missing out
Hmm.
a lot.
Man.
And yeah, that's not saying anything about the mixing the drums as well. That's one thing Gavin's always been very adamant about on any album he's played on, that
Mm.
it's just done perfectly.
Such good drums.
Especially like the toms and
Yeah.
I don't know, every little he's got like this chime cymbal set as well, which he occasionally uses for fills, but
Uh,
I don't know, it's just very perfectly mixed for every single element on his kit, as well as everything else, which
yeah.
is quite a feat considering how many instruments they've got together for this album, essentially.
Mm.
Mm.
Right.
Anyway, shall we move on to our next album, I guess?
Yeah, I think that was
Hmm.
good. So I guess we'll move on to Enter the Chicken by Buckethead.
I don't know. I haven't listened to much of Buckethead stuff before I listened to this, but this was a pleasant surprise, I'd say.
Ah, very good. I didn't know if you'd like it or hate it, honestly.
Um,
It's, yeah.
yeah, bits of it are kind of in the vein of, I guess, System of a Down's guitar style
Yeah.
with a bit of, I don't know, kind of like a proggy, genty edge to some of it as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. I,
But in saying that, like some of the tracks on this are just kind of in a different direction as well,
mhm.
especially the ones with like female lyricists on them, and I don't know, track 4 and 7 in particular are kind of like more, I don't know, like rock groove type ones as opposed to prog metal stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not a bad thing. Like I don't know. There's, I think like a couple of tracks on here, I felt like were a bit, um, but mostly it's an album of surprise, I guess.
Yes. It's definitely a kind of grab bag variety album, Buckethead. It's just a different guest on each
Yeah.
song, basically, for the most part.
Besides that, like it's somehow cohesive. Besides that,
Yeah, it's very strange.
yeah, like
Um,
it just shows off what a talented guitarist, arranger, whatever this guy is.
yeah.
To
uh,
just be able to move from the dementedly heavy stuff at the start
yeah.
to what's track 4 again? The
Uh, Track 4 is Three
It's just
Fingers.
a hilariously creepy one.
Yeah, one
Track,
of
I don't know, 5 and 6, which are completely different style to the stuff at the start,
yeah, it's
and
definitely
then back into some heavier stuff at the end.
yeah, I split it into kind of three sections in my head along those lines. The middle section probably being the weakest in my opinion,
Okay.
the kind of slow alt rock
Yeah.
type stuff you have going in from tracks 5 to 7,
Okay.
but
Which
still
tracks 5 and 6 are kind of the ones with the female singers on them.
yeah. Sorry, your mics is really quiet.
That better?
Yeah, that's real
Right.
good.
Sorry.
All good.
What did you think of those ones?
5 and
6.
6, yeah, those were 5 was probably my least favorite track
Okay.
of the album. It's kind of uh, has a real 90s pop feel, which isn't bad, but it's I don't know, it's kind of not compelling, even though
Okay.
the chorus is heavily layered and it's meant to
Yeah.
be big, but it's kind of a little confused.
Mm,
Not terrible, just
yeah.
one of the worst tracks of the album.
Okay.
Your opinion?
Um, I think I like the one after that a bit more.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't know. Coma I liked in a kind of weird, uh, what's the word for it? Trancey way, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know. And it
it
just kind of like breaks up a bit, but you could have just had that by itself, and that would have been fine there.
mhm. Some nice, some pretty harmonies
Mm,
thanks to Surge.
yeah. Um,
Yeah,
I don't know. 7 and 8. I don't know. I'm not too fussed about those ones. Fun Bus is interesting.
yeah, I think the
It's probably the
transition
heaviest one on there.
from 8 to 9 is one of my favorite transitions in
Yeah.
any album ever,
Mm.
possibly.
Mm.
It's got this like weird ukulele tune
And then
followed
hell
by
descends.
just a ridiculous, hilariously blistering
Mm.
guitar lines
Yeah.
and screaming vocals, and
Mm.
it's hilarious.
Um, I don't know. In terms of heaviest, that one's not my favorite on the album because of that, I guess.
Yeah, that
Whereas, I don't know, the theme of that song I find is hilariously amazing.
yeah,
It's, um, I don't know, it's just kind of a song about where music's going,
yeah,
I guess.
just yeah, lighten up.
Mm. It's kind of like one of the more darkly serious songs on the album, but
Hmm.
I don't know, it's just so heavy and kind of, I don't know, sarcastic at the same time. That,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's one
This
of the
album doesn't treat itself too seriously at all, but
no, that's
it's,
definitely the message,
mm,
and it's yeah, one of the funnest songs on the album, I think. Fun Bus.
mm.
Uh,
The hand's kind of weird, but
I think The Hand is one of my favorite tracks on the album,
okay,
personally.
yeah. I don't know. The second track, I don't know. It's just like an awesome way to start the album out, I thought.
Yeah, We Are One is
I just like
ah
the groove in that as well.
yeah, I used
And the
to
kind of gibberish, like
ah
rambling before it gets into the chorus,
yeah,
but
I
it's
think
just catchy.
Buckethead is usually at his best when he collaborates,
Yeah.
and I think Serge Tankian is one of the perfect people for
Mm,
him to collaborate with. Because, like you said, it's like nonsensical, gi- like gibberish as the lyrics, except they're actually words.
yeah.
They're just pronounced ridiculously.
Yeah. I don't even know what he's saying, to be
Yeah, I think
honest.
it's like sending the leaders to war, but it sounds like It's It's
You did
ridiculous.
that perfectly. Yeah.
Or sending a beating to go, I think. That's the particular line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, it's a weird track, which is more awesome than you think it should be.
Yeah, just kind of weird riff after weird riff.
Yeah, but it just works
Yeah.
so well. Um, what about Nottingham Lace, the last one?
Yeah. So this is a Buckethead favorite. Fan favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah, he just kind of shows off his guitar skills in
mm,
this track. There's no collaboration or
yeah,
anything.
it's an instrumental basically.
Yeah, good way to finish off. It's a ridiculous solo
Mm.
that just goes on for a
It's
long
a long
time.
song. It's like, yeah, 6.5 minutes.
Yeah,
I love the groove at the start of it though. It's just,
yeah, it's a good song. I think it's one of his better instrumentals
mm,
because he often doesn't layer his tracks extensively, and I
okay,
feel that when he does it really well. And I'm
okay,
really sad to see him not do that in a lot of
okay.
his later albums.
I'll need to listen to more stuff to compare, but
Yeah, this is probably one of his better albums as a
yeah.
whole.
Mm.
Um,
Can we compare it all to Gavin's album? That's an interesting question.
my God, not. uh, they're both playful albums
They are.
in different ways.
Mm.
Oh man, what did you think of Three Fingers, by the way?
Oh, I like that one. It's weird and mildly creepy, but it's just got like this awesome bassy groove to it as well. It's just,
Yeah,
it really, I don't know, picked the album back up for me after the third one, which
yeah,
is good, but a bit. So like, I wasn't really sure where it was going then, and that comes and it's like, oh, this is still fun.
yeah.
Mm,
No, I like that one a lot.
mhm.
It's very, it's it,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not excessive or anything. It's just really succinct, I feel.
and yeah, like apart from Fun Bus, none of the songs on here are too heavy as well. So
Yeah,
as weird as the album is, it's still fairly accessible for anyone who just kind of listens to general prog or metal.
yeah.
Um,
It's funny.
even then, like you could pick some songs out of here for anyone really. Like Three Fingers would probably be fine just by itself.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. It's got like its own weird kind of rockish feel to it, but it's still proggy and funny enough that
yeah,
it's very uniquely awesome in its own way, I guess.
yeah. It has that just fun insanity
Yeah,
laced through out the whole album.
yeah,
Like
it's a very
the
good way of
hand is,
describing it.
yeah, the hand is one of my favorite tracks because
It's just
it's
weird.
just ridiculous. You have Maximum Bob just going crazy throughout the
Mm.
whole song. And there's just some ridiculous lines in there that I love.
That song makes no sense to me.
Some guy loses his hand.
Mm.
That's
That's it.
and there's like opera vocals in the background
Yeah,
that
it's
are
just
really
so over the top,
mm.
but awesome. Hmm. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's as cohesive as Gavin's.
No, definitely not.
And I don't know. I wouldn't be able to point at all of the songs and say they're pretty much up there on like the same level
Yeah,
in terms of technicality or I don't know. I guess on this album, just like insane weirdness. Because there's a couple of tracks you could probably drop on this album.
yeah,
Um,
I could definitely agree with that.
yeah, but yeah, there's still some classic tracks on here. I'd say it's
Yeah.
it's still a very tight album.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Any other negative thoughts on it?
Uh, Not much more than the typical stuff I would criticize when talking about Buckethead, like the drums. The drums on any Buckethead release all
Mm.
tend to be not good,
Yeah,
but they're not really the focus either, I guess.
they're not. Or some of the blast beats in certain sections were kind of annoying me because they weren't that. I don't know. It just they just felt a little lazy, but
Yeah,
like it still keeps. I don't know whatever uh, groove, sound, intensity you need in there, but it's like
yeah,
I don't know. As opposed to like the guitar stuff, it's like
yeah. Nowhere
mm,
near as much attention paid to it.
mm.
Like, maybe the exception of like Three Fingers was it had a
Yeah.
nice,
There's a
it had
couple
a
of tracks where
cool
it's like
beat
down
to it.
really well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. It's not like say a David Maximikic album where the drumming has just got so much attention put into it as well.
yeah.
Mm,
It tends to be a trend in Buckethead releases,
mm. Oh
much,
well.
much to my disappointment.
Mm. But the
Yeah,
guitar work, it's so catchy as well.
yeah.
It more than makes up for it. So,
Very good. Very good guitar tone. I like
mm,
the tone on this record. Or the
yeah.
tones. There's a
Mm.
there's a few. Lots of kind of
I don't know. Very sexy chugging.
yeah. Uh, yeah, well,
I think that's
I'm
pretty much that album.
yeah, I'm pretty much
Not
done.
completely perfect, but still very awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely
Mm.
worth a listen if you want something
Yeah,
fun and unexpected.
yeah. I don't know. It's like if there's certain tracks you don't like, you're bound to like most of the other ones in some
Yeah, you're gonna find something you like on this album.
way. Mm.
You most likely.
Yeah, because it just kind of touches so many, I don't know, little parts of genres or little things, and
Hmm.
I don't know. And it's not afraid to go in any direction when it wants to.
No,
That's one thing I like about it. Like, I don't know, when it goes into the those kind of ones in the middle, like it still doesn't do that lightly. It
no,
yeah, and yeah, even with the heavier stuff as well, it's like I don't know. That's not just kind of like a little gimmick throw in with all of those little things.
yeah. It's
Mm,
well, like it's kind of a gimmick, but at the same time, it's done well.
yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. There's something on it for everyone, really.
Yeah.
So
So yeah,
and somehow it works all together as well in its own weird way.
yeah,
I'm not really sure if you can put a genre on this album because
yeah.
it kind
Probably not.
of breaks so many things as well, which is always good.
Definitely.
Mm.
Uh,
Anyway, we can pretty much wrap up now then.
yeah. I guess so. Uh,
Very amazing albums. I was pleasantly surprised with both of them.
yeah. It was a pretty good week. I was interested to hear your thoughts on Enter the Chicken because it's
Yeah.
I've listened to it for many years now.
I'll come back to tracks on it, I think. So, definitely surprised me in a good way.
That's
I'd
good.
listened to like one or two tracks before, and I don't know, they sounded fairly homogenous, whereas
Right.
this was just like all over the place in a good way.
Uh, hmm.
Anyway,
I guess we'll wrap up now.
yeah,
All right then. Well, this has been a pretentious display of cynicism. Thanks for listening, and be sure to check out the 1 hour mix on our Mixcloud page. See you guys next week.